regulate the social media platforms. Mr. Chair, this afternoon, I would also like to report to the committee what has been going on in the past weeks. Actually, in the past TRICOM meetings, I have been proposing the establishment of a Digital Council of the Philippines. To recall, it is similar to the kapisanan ng mga broadcasters of the Philippines, to be formed among the stakeholders themselves by associations and groups of content creators, as well as the digital advertisers, as well as digital marketing firms, as well as the Global AI Council, as well as members of the academe, rather, because the idea was to make the Digital Council of the Philippines a medium by which we can educate the public, in particular the youth, on the responsible use of social media and, most importantly, critical thinking. We also wanted representation from the DICT in the Digital Council of the Philippines, as well as the NBI and the PNP. So the idea is basically self-regulation. It has worked for the advertising world when commercials are submitted to the scrutiny of the Ad Standards Council to see, based on their own code of ethics and standards, if the commercials are fair and true. So, depende po sa findings ng Ad Standards Council of the Philippines, ay aaprubahan ng isang commercial o hindi. Sa kapisanan ng broadcasters ng Pilipinas naman, sa aking pagkakaunawa, ito po ay hindi government-controlled. Ito po ay self-regulating. And they came up with their own code of ethics and standards, which is to be followed by its members. And they also have their own redress system. And to my knowledge, the kapisanan ng mga broadcasters in Filipinas also acts as a guild of sorts for its members, to give its members legal assessment and counseling, as well as legal assistance in case any of its members encounter, I don't know, a lawsuit or something in that like. Or as a group, as a guild, because there is strength in unity, it could use its position to leverage. If there is something they have to negotiate with the government. So, going back to the Digital Council of the Philippines, in the past weeks I have met with the CICP, I have met with the Global AI Council. I also met with the Digital Marketing Association of the Philippines. And they are all in agreement that they would rather that they form their own council and that they come up with their own code of ethics and standards than being regulated by the government. Now, you may ask me, para kaya pa tayo entonces nag-investigation? Well, as I said, the regulation should come with regards to the social media platforms. Okay. Kasi mukhang interesado si Vice President Noli de Castro, I will briefly explain kung anong functions itong Digital Council of the Philippines. Yun na nga, unang-unang kailangan meron siyang ma-formulate na code of ethics and standards to be followed by its members. Number two, ito po ang mag-serve as a vehicle to address complaints of victims of fake news. It has the technical means. Ito po yung parang konseho na magsusuri at magfa-fact check kung ang isang complaint ay may basihan, kung tunay na biktima ang isang grupo ng isang scam or isang businessman ng isang scam o kaya ng isang government agency, ng isang fake news, and it will come up with its findings. So what do we do with the findings of the Digital Council of the Philippines? Pag nalaman po niya at napagtanto ng isang piece of information ay walang basihan at fake, ito po ay ifa-flag niya at sasabihin doon sa social media platform para po, by law, ang social media platform will be obliged and required to flag a certain piece of information as fake or to take it down, which is already being practiced by TikTok, to my knowledge, and also by some other social media platforms that have community annotations, community notes, no, na nagsasabi itong informasyon na to ay lacking information o ito'y walang basihan. So this is a way of administering justice without stepping on the constitutional right to freedom of speech or expression. Kasi sa laban po sa fake news, ang kalaban po natin talaga dyan, syempre, of course, is the piece of news itself. Ako po ay naniniwala kapag ang isang piece of information ay walang matibay na pundasyon na nakapatong at nakasalalay sa katotohanan, ito po ay babagsak. Pero kailangan nga lang ho ay mag-cooperate ang ating mga social media platforms. Maaring tanong po ng iba dyan, paano mo ma-ensure na lahat ng content creators na magiging miyembro nitong Digital Council? Pero hindi po ito ang pangarap ng Digital Council of the Philippines. Kahit hindi ikaw ang miyembro ng Digital Council of the Philippines, kapag ang isang piece of information na generate mo ay nireklamo dahil wala itong batayan, ay mafa-flag ito at madedetect ng Digital Council. At eventually, if we pass a law that would require social media platforms to adhere to the findings, recommendations, instructions of the Digital Council, ay mafa-flag ito as fake and it could be taken down. At syempre, kung ako naman ang content creator, kung sa 10 pieces of information na generate ko, siyam ay nafa-flag as fake, edi parang humukay na rin ako ng sarili kong libingan as a content creator. I shall have lost my credibility and whatever is left of my moral authority to actually express my opinion over social media. So, Mr. Chair, may I be given the chance to interpolate some of our resource persons?
Congressman Geraldine, I thought that you're going to ask question to Noli.
Okay.
So
May I ask
we are tackling the issues one by one. The fourth issue will be the social media influencers. So I think you reserve your question dun sa social media. The resource person that we are now asking question to is former Vice President Noli De Castro.
May I have the pleasure of interpolating our former Vice President and fellow journalist,
Yes, po.
Noli De Castro. Kumusta po kayo, Mr.
Mabuti
Vice
po.
President?
Mabuti po.
Yes. Kayo po bilang isang mamamahayag, gaano nyo pinahahalagahan ang ating constitutional right to free speech and expression?
Of course, kami yung mga broadcaster, kami tayong mga broadcast journalists, mahalaga po siyempre ang constitutional rights natin to free speech, freedom of speech. Number one ho yun. Pero, as a broadcaster din po, sinabi niya sa kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas, during our seminars, way back, ang ini-instill sa aming utak ay maging responsible journalist. Responsible on the air. That means, ang sasabihin namin ay may batayan, may source, sabi nga ninyo, ay titindig yung mga balita. Kahit sinong komisyon ay nakatindig yung mga balita, may mga patunay. So, yun, responsible journalist. I remember that, I cannot forget that, be a responsible journalist.
Mr. Chair, maidagdag ko pa po, kayo po ba ay kasapi ng kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas? Yes po.
Automatic po yun.
At meron po ba kayong sinusundang Code of Ethics and Standards sa loob po ng KBP?
Meron din po. Maliban doon sa Code of Ethics namin sa ABS-CBN.
Okay, meron din sila sa ABS-CBN.
Opo.
Ngayon po, sa inyong karanasan, meron na ba kayong na-encounter na isang kasapi ng KBP na hindi tumalima sa inyong Code of Ethics and Standards?
Well, unang-una ho, hindi na kinakailangan dumaan pa sa KBP pag may ganon. Yung mismong station ang nagdidisiplina sa kanya tungkol diyan. Kasi kumisan, inaamin ko rin naman na may mga broadcaster na may mga political leanings. Lalo na ho ngayon, malapit ng eleksyon. So, meron ding mga broadcaster